Welcome back to ceramic bead making with Earthnocturne. Now that we've formed the bead shape shown here from the previous couple of videos, it is time to move on to bisque firing them. You'll need to have a ceramic kiln or access to a kiln. Shown here is my test kiln. It is an Olympic doll kiln with a Bartlett controller on it. It runs on 120 volts on a normal household circuit breaker, and you'll want to make sure you have the correct circuit breaker for your kiln. And also, if you are going to be firing indoors, you'll need some type of venting system. I just have a makeshift hood, a kitchen hood above mine with tubing leading to a window outside. You can also use a cross draft vent by using an oscillating fan and pointing out an open window. Make sure you just have good oxygen in your room if you are indoors. And to start loading the kiln, I use 1/4-inch posts on the bottom. Instead of placing the shelf directly on the bottom, I like to have that space for additional circulation. And then as I place my posts, I'll make sure the shelf above this is not going to be right in front of an element so that the shelf doesn't warp. And since it's bisque, all of the clay can touch one another without sticking in the final temps. There's no glaze on them, so you can pack them in pretty good. I usually put about 3 layers of beads and keep about an inch clearance between the top of the beads and the next shelf. And then these are just some glaze tests I'm going to be doing. I'm avoiding blocking the peephole. The one on top will be open during the whole firing, so I don't block that, and make sure there is at least about 2 inches of clearance on top of the pieces on the top, so that there'll be enough oxygen, enough good circulation in the kiln. And then I'll put the lid prop in until 250 degrees to let the steam out. Once it reaches the boiling point, you can take out the wedge, about 250, and put in the bottom peephole. And I'm going to be using the Fast Bisque program here to keep it simple. Going to cone 04. I put a 15-minute hold on. You don't have to do that. I just put that there to try and even out the temperature at the end. This firing profile takes approximately 11 to 11.5 hours to complete. And in my kiln, the small kiln, takes about 12 hours to cool to 150 degrees, at which point it can be opened. After the firing is complete, I put the top peep in. If the room is cold, it's not necessary. If the room is cold, though, it does help to keep the temperature from dropping too quickly. And now that the bisque is complete, it's time to move on to glaze them. And in the last video of the segment, we will be glaze firing them.